President Muhammadu Buhari approved 2 weeks extension of the ongoing movement restrictions across Nigeria because the country is not yet ready for full opening of the economy, an official said. The secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustapha, made this known on Monday at the daily briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. The extension of the ongoing restriction will be effective from 12th midnight, May 18 to June 1st. He said, ladies and gentlemen, the reality is that in spite of the modest progress made, Nigeria is not yet ready for full opening of the economy, and tough decisions have to be taken for the good of the greater majority, Mr. Mustafa said. Any relaxation will only portend grave danger for our people. Advisedly, the current phase of eased restriction will be maintained for another 2 weeks, during which stricter enforcement and persuasion measures will be pursued. Based on the recommendations of the PCF, Mr. President has approved the following: the measures, exemptions, advisories, and scope of entities allowed to reopen under phase 1 of the eased lockdown shall be maintained across the Federation for another 2 weeks, effective from 12 midnight 18th May 2020 to 1st of June, Mr. Mustafa said. President Buhari had on April 27 announced the gradual easing of a 5-week lockdown in FCT, Lagos, and Ogun State. The lockdown was eased to a nationwide night curfew, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. from May 4th to May 17th. Based on Mr. Mustafa's announcement that nationwide curfew and a ban on interstate travel will continue from tonight for another 2 weeks. Other reasons, Mr. Mustafa, who is also the chairman of the PTF, said the 2-week extension will enable other segments of the economy to prepare to reopen in the coming weeks. The 2 weeks extension of phase 1 of the eased restriction is also to enable other segments of the economy prepare adequately for the compliance with the guidelines preparatory to reopening in the coming weeks. For the PTF, we share your pains, but our future is in the hands of every Nigeria, and future decisions will depend greatly on our compliance, he said. He also said the period will be utilized to intensify efforts to trace and treat COVID-19 cases, elevating the level of community ownership of non-pharmaceutical interventions, he said. He said lockdown will be imposed on some states and local government areas if the need arises. He, however, said this will be complemented with provisions of palliatives, imposition of precision lockdown in states or in metropolitan high-burden local government areas that are reporting a rapidly increasing number of cases when the need arises. This will be complemented with the provision of palliatives and continued re-evaluation of the impact of the interventions, aggressive scale-up of efforts to ensure that communities are informed, engaged, and participating in the response with enhanced public awareness in high-risk states, he said. So guys, everything still continues. The lockdown, let's put it that way, it continues for another 2 weeks, but this will now determine how other sectors will be made open maybe in the next 2 weeks if the compliance is very, very high, because the reason why they are trying to continue with this lockdown and interstate lockdown is because people are not really complying, and again the cases are still not are still worrisome, and it is like he said that it's going to portend danger if they just go and open the economy right now. But one thing that they need to talk about, because I could remember this Boss Mustafa, of course it's relating to what Buhari asked him to say, since Buhari could not come directly to make this revelation or this announcement made to the people or known to the people. He had to come and do that. But I remember when this issue of Amajiri, when the governors were deporting some of the Amajiris from places to places, he came out and began to say something different. But now, after that, these people started moving from state to state, and they didn't say anything because they are the most culprits in this whole interstate lockdown, which they are not obeying. They are not saying anything because they are the ones who are moving in their large numbers. Maybe I'm not saying people are not moving, people are not just trying to sink themselves into other states, but these people are coming out openly, even despite the lockdown. And I think this is an opportunity for people, or opportunity for most governors to be able to mount their borders very well, because like Wike said, that is determined that there's no going back, that no Amajiri will enter a state. They will not even try it. I learned that the Hausa community in that state, they are uh, they want a compensation of 100 million naira from him, for because he seized their cow, and the people, and because they hid some people, some Amajiris in their truck, and now they are saying he does not have the right to do that. But I don't know, let them meet in court, they will be able to settle all of that. But as it is now, the movement from state to state is still not lifted. Everybody must stay where you are at this point in time. But I believe that maybe by that June, every, like, all other places that have not been open, they will be open, and they see the progress, and as things will start unfolding before that twist, that will still propel or encourage some of other sectors to be open, according to what Mustafa is trying to tell us. And let's hear what people are saying, whether they are happy with this with the continuation of this lockdown. Someone says Asu Rock is indeed empty. Keep locking the country. Try and continue looting the treasury. Soon you will come to know when suddenly, without warning, you find yourself six. Oh, okay. Oh, this person is really talking tough on this SGF. And even talking about palliative, I don't even understand. I think they should just stop talking about this palliative, because it's shameful. And that's why you see that most of the time Nigerians say, oh, everything is scam. Why must you still be talking about palliative that you guys are not doing anything about? You're just talking about a palliative after they have made huge mistake in the first one, and they didn't fulfill their promises. So that's why they will still continue to say, oh, there will be partial lockdown. Another says here that, as in what, Amajiris are moving freely all over the country, and they are fooling themselves, not me. There's a grand plan for all these acts. Just like I said, Amajiris are moving from places to places. You guys have not even arrested them. You guys have not even cautioned their governors to make sure that nobody goes out of the state. Another says, COVID 419, COVID 419. President, please, we don't need lockdown again. Nigerians will protest. Another says here that, now you sabi, all I know is that God no go shame. Now God go shame, go shame us. Okay, I'm tired of every 2 weeks lockdown. So the economy is not going to be open fully, and what will happen? Therefore, a lockdown will still continue. Then you, president, should start arranging for whatever hunger, going to those innocent, going to those innocent people. I don't know what this person is trying to talk here. Someone says here that, what kind of lockdown is this when Amajiris are still moving up and down the state of the nation? God will surely fight for us. The foodstuff sent by our first lady to the poor still return back to most richest people. Really? What a world full of terrible people. May God have mercy. Season film Acts 3, Scene 4. Him. Keep doing all you can just to achieve your goal. Lock down every time. Our God, the God of David, the God of Isaac, will fight for us. His people keep locking, locking, locking. May God help us. Waiting, I go talk. Even if you shout, nobody go hear. Exactly. But if only one person talk, nobody go hear. But when many people talk, definitely they will hear, and we know what to do. But we are not just doing it because of fear. Okay. So the Lockdown still continues. Mr. Boss, you better apply another tactics before the real corona visits your family. We want hear his live broadcast. Where is he? Okay, this one still wants Buhari to come. Buhari is not saying anything. And he's not ready to come out again. You know, before now, he has been coming out. People have been criticizing him. Oh, it is not life. It is this. We want to ask you questions. But now, they've gone off air. They've gone offline. That is the rip of the moment now. Somebody else will be doing the whole thing. Of course, some people will say it is even better that somebody is saying it, that with this tension, he wants to say anything, oh, this and that. And at the end of the day, some people will not even understand. Some people will pick and pick. But now that Boss Mustafa has related it, because at the end of the day, in a nutshell, what is he trying to say? The lockdown still continues, both within the states and interstate as well. So let's hear your opinion. What do you think about this continuation of this East lockdown? Leave your comments and let's have your take.